因为它是非常低调，它是种就是预先上身家表示，他总是到最后。不过呢，他的贡献他的帮忙不合于人，可是他不走在表面上面。这个比例会来的，比这个标点就显示这个。你看前面是跟普通的完全一样，完全一样。你看后面它是完全不同，都是玻璃的，完全都是玻璃。从这个上面一看，一直可以看到这个恰尔斯流这个上面，所以这个标点是不同。所以呢，我们这个标点它造了2年，我们设计2年。设计的时候，我们就是想尽了办法，要把中西的把它合起来。
My father wanted to also offer a scholarship. So there is a scholarship called Ruth Mulan Chu and James Seaton Chow Family Fellowship. And this will fund about 6 to 8 outstanding young students to enter the business school. It is specifically targeted, and I think you understand this, you guessed this already. It is specifically targeted at any student with 1 drop of Chinese blood in them. My father understood how hard it was for him and my mother to gain the financial resources to continue their education. And so they wanted to also help students, not only with providing this building, but with a scholarship to be able to continue. Every fall, my father remembers when his parents had to scrimp and save. Do you know that expression? To save every penny and go around and ask all their relatives, all their friends for money.
A big part of this building was to reorient physically the executive education program. So Harvard has 10,000 exec ed participants a year who come here. So we have 500 people a week staying here from around the world. And prior to this, the building that was here was it was different levels and was not really a welcoming type of building, built in 1955. And so people would arrive and kind of go around, a building to get in. So now downstairs we have that great front door that comes in and that entryway, and very centralized between the 3 residential buildings and where the classes are. So people will come in for eating here during the day, and then there are classrooms here as well. On this level, we've got this spectacular conference room named after Elaine Chao, and we'll go in there and look down Harvard Way, which is the older traditional part of campus. The dean has already held a meeting in this room. He was so excited to put it to use. So as you can see, it's just got a great view. We got a beautiful table, and we're very excited about this. So we think this is going to be a heavily reserved room. And yes, it is. Yep, that's the undergraduate part of the university. Yep. Yeah. So if executive participants come, they stay in either Tata Hall here or MacArthur Hall or Estevez Hall. So now we have a grouping of buildings, and we have this nice green quad out here for outdoor activities and whatnot. So it's more of a real precinct now for executive education with an identity.
So one way in which one can understand the evolution of business is to just walk through Harvard Business School and see the names of the buildings in Harvard Business School. So you start with J.P. Morgan, you start with Mr. Baker. These were people who were pioneers of American business at the turn of the century when Harvard Business School was first founded. As we now enter our 2nd century and you think about the frontiers of business, this building so important is that we now have the name of a very important Chinese family on this campus. even though we are here in America on the banks of the Charles, we're a great global institution. And this is a symbol of the globalization that Harvard Business School represents.
My mother saw that he was a young man with great potential. He achieved the rank of captain, sea captain, at the very tender age of 29. She had tremendous love for him, she believed in him, and it's a wonderful love story.
So I told her one thing. I said, Mulan, I love you. I really love you. I love you for life. I pledge that. So she's prepared because she married a navigator. She married a seaman. And my wife is strong enough, smart enough, clever enough, and she supported me, asking me to come in here.
In 1924, which is 6 years before Ruth Mulan Chu was born in Anhui, China, early champions of the Harvard Graduate School of Business Administration stood where we stand now and surveyed a plot of low-lying land. They looked at it and determined that it had, and I quote, no natural beauty in topography or tree growth. But they could nonetheless envision rising on the banks of the Charles River what they expected to be a self-contained school. And in their words, it would give the best opportunity for contact between students from all parts of the country, for interchange of ideas, for discussion of schoolwork, and for development in an atmosphere made as inspiring as possible by the physical environment. As inspiring as possible by the physical environment. So we gather today, 92 years later, to celebrate a new building that will inspire extraordinarily talented students and faculty, not just from around the country, but from across the world.
The Chow Center will be more than a hub between our educational programs and the members of our community. It will be a magnet welcoming the thousands of students who come to Harvard Business School from around the world each year as they begin their journey of educational transformation, housing classes and projects, and hosting a vibrant schedule of activities and events for our entire campus. From the hub to the terrace, from the classrooms to the dining halls, and from the lounges to the multipurpose rooms, and in this wonderful new patio and outdoor court, it will not simply be a space, but a building with a true sense of place and purpose. What we are also here to celebrate today is the second meeting of dedication, which is devotion. Because more than anything else, the story of the Chow family is a story of devotion.
Because Ruth devoted her life to excellence in education and enhancing U.S.-China relations, she embodied the spirit of the love of learning in this university community. This fellowship program is established in honor of and in memory of my beloved wife and soulmate, Ruth Mulan Chu Chow, so that others may emulate and be inspired by her spirit. Truly, I cannot imagine a better way of speaking to what today and every day after, here and around this facility, will be about.
Mr. and Mrs. Chow did so much more. They worked hard in this country, but they never forgot how they started. They never forgot the opportunities that were open to them because of education. Their commitment to education is reflected in each of their daughters and their many accomplishments. Their commitment is also reflected in this generous commitment to Harvard, a gift that will permit the school to build a lasting legacy, to expand opportunities for many, many more young people.
My mother was valedictorian of her high school class, but her mother, my grandmother, died. So she just had to raise her 4 younger sisters. That's the way it used to be. But this Chow family and the next generation, they made sure that that history would not be repeated. My family is an immigrant story, but the Chow family is the perfect example of the American dream come true in this country, the quintessential immigrant story to the United States of America.
You know, 4 years ago, Harvard announced the gift that made this center a reality. In the school's initial discussions with my father, Dean Laurier explained that there was a pressing need for a special place to anchor Harvard Business School's executive education program in the expansion of this campus. We could not think of a better way to give back to the university that has educated so many members of our family. And we were excited to have the opportunity to help educate leaders who make a difference in the world. As you've heard, my parents left China when they were very young, during a tumultuous time in Chinese history. The hardships that they endured instilled within them a lifelong commitment to build bridges of understanding between people of different backgrounds and cultures. And when they relocated again, starting anew in America, a key element that helped them to not only survive but thrive was their education. That is why they've devoted so much of their philanthropy to helping others access education. And that's why the concept of a place of learning at Harvard for leaders from all over the world resonated with my father. It is his hope that the Ruth Mulan Chu Chow Center will be a place where emerging leaders from across the globe can mingle with one another, as well as Harvard students, faculty, administrators, visitors, and be inspired by the life and spirit of an ordinary yet extraordinary woman, Ruth Mulan Chu Chow. My mother came from a distinguished family in Anhui Province, a family that believed in educating their daughters. And she believed that men and women should be treated equally. And she and my father made sure that their 6 daughters were equipped with the tools that they needed to realize their dreams. My mother was the constant north star of our family, holding us together during years of separation from my father when he came to this country first to build a better life for our family, and when we finally joined him in America. She was a strong foundation that gave us the confidence and the courage to advance in this new country. With today's inauguration, as you have heard, there's finally a building on campus named after a woman and an Asian American. We hope my mother's example of remaining steadfast in the face of adversity and turmoil will inspire others to never give up their dreams. It's fitting that Goody Clancy's design of this building honors the past while looking forward toward the future, which is so emblematic of my parents' life journey. We thank the workers who toiled on this building through so many seasons, and Angela Crispy and Laura Leonard and the Harvard team that worked on the programmatic needs of the community to make it their building, which is what my father wanted. We also want to thank the renowned portrait artist Tung Yang-ning for his gift of the portrait of my parents, which hangs in the reception area, depicting a loving couple, hand in hand, facing life together. It is my father's hope, again, that when people enter the Ruth Mulan Chu Chow Center, they would be imbued with my mother's spirit of optimism, determination, and her strong example of a life lived for others. He's humbled and grateful to be able to help Harvard share that dream with the world. And if I may now, I'd like to bring my father, Dr. James S.C. Chow, to the stage so that he can see you and so that you can see him.
Thanks, Dean. Thanks, President. Thanks, honorary guests. Thanks, all my friends. Your Chinese saying, when you have big things, just keep silent. Today, I keep silent because I have so much want to say. Thanks, 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 thanks again. Wish everybody enjoy the occasion. Thank you again.